You didn't have like one particular like hero, let's say, you followed, and you had the backpack, the lunchbox, the costume you wore at Halloween.
Well, I wanted to wear Gambit costume when I was in kindergarten, but my friend, or I thought he was my friend.
Oh shit.
He fucking dressed up as Gambit, and it was so cool. And he had the cut-off gloves and a leather jacket and cards, dude. His like mom helped him with the costumes. I never wanted to dress up as a superhero ever again.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. But my heroes in Marvel were, funnily enough, I mean, Thor. I read a lot of Thor.
Yeah.
I read Deadpool, and that's pretty much it for the Marvel Universe for me. Those were the ones I really enjoyed. What about you? And X-Men. I mean, obviously, fucking X-Men, the show.
Yeah.
The 90s animated series was the most legendary, iconic thing of all time.
Collected the Marvel trading cards, from going to the baseball card shops, comic shops, and buying the packs, opening them over and over and over again. If I was lucky enough, like yourself, for your parents to hook you up with some money and then drop you off at the comic book store and the video rental store, so we would get a twofer. We'd be able to go get some like comic book action, and then go over and maybe rent a video game for like Super Nintendo or something. And then
Video Adventure was right next door to the comics gallery.
We had a Hollywood Video there, which was like the rival to Blockbuster.
Yeah, Hollywood
got up
Video.
there a bit, but not quite.
Yeah, I remember that. We had one around us.
And
so look at these cards, dude.
So we collected these cards, and I could show them to the camera a bit closer in a moment here, but it was just crazy to be able to. I only recently got this back in my life.
First off, I don't know if you realize, guys, this is the most hyper-anally organized thing I've ever seen. This isn't just a bunch of cards thrown into it. It's organized by year, by team, by person, and then like they're like subcategorized within it. You are such a dork. IMAX of Thor Ragnarok in one card. Pretty crazy. This Thor Ragnarok story. Now, how can we be seeing this on a card?
Okay, so here's the thing. This card's a 1991 card, and it's depicted from Thor 351 to 353 from Asgard. And if you're a big, now I only recently like really tried to dive into Marvel again, because it's like I own all these cards, and I think I should know where they come from. I should know the story of all these people, and I only recently, very recently, started to try to like learn all that stuff. So. Comic nerds out there, some of my stuff may be a bit off on this, but
hold your rage, all right?
So Ragnarok in the Thor world is a couple of different things, but the big thing is Ragnarok is the process in which Asgard comes to like a destruction and then is reborn.
But I can imagine a Thor road trip movie, and I want to know, who would you rather have in your Thor road trip movie? Is it Thor and Hulk, or is it Thor and Loki?
Ooh, Thor and Loki. I mean, the God of Mischief is only going to create more entertainment than if Bruce is going along and you're counting on just natural occurrences to force him to be the Hulk and have some action. Whereas Loki's probably going to bring a lot of that himself just because he's the God of Mischief.
He sucks that stuff in.
He can't help himself, Dan. At the end of this movie, spoiler, he takes the stone, the cube.
The cube.
Can't help himself.
So you never really answered. Is this a comedy or is it a superhero movie?
I don't know, dude.
Here, I'll give you what I
comedy?
think.
Is that what we call it?
I think it's a super comedy. That's fine. Because I was hoping for it to be more of a comedy. I wish there was less of the big set piece action scenes. I wish there was more focused on the people. And like you've talked about a lot when we're talking about this movie, is like humanizing these characters through just like normal interactions.
You have moments where like Thor is like sees the girl in this movie and puts his arm up on the wall and his arm like slips off and he has to like do it. Like they really go the mile to like humanize.
He's like
characters.
fumbling with when he's with Doctor Strange, and he's like fumbling with all the spears at his thing. Like that whole scene is like ridiculous.
They really like show like these aren't guys who can walk into a room, command it, and just they control every step and are just perfect in every way. Like no, they come in, they're human.
And
when Thor and Hulk are battling it out on Sakaar, and Loki's obviously there, and he's incredibly nervous once he sees Hulk is on the planet. And then once Hulk manages to get a hold of Thor and give him the Loki treatment, slamming around, and Loki's like, yeah, that's how it feels.
Dude, it's like the same thing he did to Loki,
too. He did the exact same movement. I love that they gave that nod to the Avengers.
Dude, yeah, that was great. Earlier in that scene, by the way, really cool improv note, when Hulk first comes out and Hemsworth is ready to fight, and then he sees it's Hulk, and he's oh, I know him, and he says a line. He says,
"We work together."
Oh, don't worry, I know him from work.
Yeah.
That line was improv by a kid who was visiting on set that day from Make-A-Wish Foundation.
What?
And he gave the line, and they used it, and it's the one they took.
I heard your funniest scene.
My funniest scene is when later on the planet they have Loki tied up, and they're talking in a little circle about all the terrible things Loki has done. And they're like talking about these big, ridiculous, oh, he tried to kill me. Oh, he tried to destroy my planet. Oh, he did destroy my planet, you know, whatever. And then Thor goes and he's like, and then once when we were little kids, we were playing and he pretended to be, he turned into a snake because he knows I love snakes. So I went to pick up the snake to hold it. And then he turned back into Loki. And then he scared me and said, boo. And then he stabbed me. And it was like.
The funniest thing is that is from a real Thor comic.
Really?
That happened. Eric, you could try to use your Google Foo to find it. It wasn't like when they were kids, but that was just, that whole dialogue was a nod to an old past comic that had happened where Loki was a snake. And I think he did stab Thor. Him. But I can't believe you didn't pick this to be your funniest moment.
I know, because I knew it was yours. I knew it was yours.
When Bruce, when Bruce Banner is in the helicopter and he's getting ready to make his grand entrance onto the bridge to be the Hulk, and we've seen it many times in other movies where he's like, you know, just watch or go get him, big guy, and they shove him off the plane, or they shove him off the helicopter, or they shove him down to the hole, and then suddenly he's the Hulk.
Yeah.
Not this time,
Not
Dan.
this time, no.
Dives off the helicopter, lands straight on the bridge.
As a human, dude.
As a human, Bruce.
He just like plunks over.
You see the jump off happen, and in your mind, you're kind of like, God, it'd be hilarious if he just happened to land on that bridge as a human, and they did it.
Yeah,
I was pissing myself in the theater.
I remember you audibly screeched in laughter in the theater when we saw it. It was really funny. I was laughing, but you were like popping out of your seat laughing. That was great.
The Grandmaster once journeyed to the alternate Earth inhabited by Squadron Supreme. Like, this is a guy who could do whatever the fuck he wants, Dan.
And in the movie, he just has a melting stick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He doesn't even hold it. He's like, oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, I don't want to use it. The one funny part with like Loki, when it's like, he's like, she hands him the stick, and he's like, I'm not gonna use the melting stick on me. He just interrupted me. It's not worthy of melting him. You know, it's
so
like,
many like humane moments.
Look at this.
For a guy.
Look at his makeup. Amazing makeup. It's like perfectly funny. Like the little eyeliner, the like blue shade. This movie I love the movie. I totally recommend it. I'm not gonna say gorgeous. It's not the most beautiful movie I've seen, but it's awesome and kick-ass. The planet is one of the most beautiful planets I've seen. The skyline is amazing.
The music. We didn't mention the music.
The music is so sick, dude.
The music's sick.
There's some stuff. We're big synth fans. We're like huge 80s fucking like that's what we listen to when we're playing games. So this whole movie.
So you get that,
like this.
And then on the one of the final bridge fight scenes, we get the famous song. What is it? Led Zeppelin.
The Led Zeppelin song.
I hear the song.